Tampa Bay Buccaneers travel to Detroit for the other Monday Night Football game, where Detroit is 5.5-point favorites. Both teams are pretty injured. Detroit's secondary is very beat up to combat a very beat up wide receiver room for the Buccaneers, among other positions. So it's going to be an interesting game. Buccaneers are just looking to keep on rolling, and Detroit's looking to bounce back from a loss to Kansas City last week. Key points for this game, guys.
If Tampa Bay has the ball last, they win.
There's Sanders' key point. It honestly kind of feels like a game, at least offensively. I need both teams to continue doing what you're doing, and that's Tampa Bay continuing to find ways to score and move the ball despite injuries, and just let Baker do his thing. And cause that's really how they're moving the ball, is they're just Baker Mayfield is willing it to happen. And then Detroit, just you move the ball pretty well against Kansas City. You just got to finish drives better. So just do that. Get your playmakers the ball, execute a little better. I'm interested to see how well Jahmyr Gibbs runs in this game, considering we've talked a lot about how the Buccaneers are one of the best run defenses in the league. So how well do him and David Montgomery really get going? But offensively, at least for both of these, just, keep doing what you're doing and just execute your game plans because they're working right now.
Yeah, and then it'll be the Tampa Bay wide receivers versus that Detroit secondary. Terry and Arnold dealing with injury, didn't play last week. Avonte Maddox dealing with injury. The other one, DJ Reed.
Kirby Joseph is...
Kirby Joseph, thank you, also dealing with injury. DJ Reed is on IR currently. So and then on the other side of the ball, the top three wide receivers, Mike Evans, Emeka Egbuka, and Chris Godwin. Evans and Egbuka won't play. Is there a chance Godwin comes back? Because I don't think he played 2 weeks ago or 3 weeks ago, and then I don't know what the injury was that sidelined him last weekend.
I think they're going to try to make him play.
Yeah.
Sure.
But I don't think he hasn't been effective really yet.
Yeah.
Mike Evans is trying to play. He walked out to practice today in pads, and they told him to take off the pads.
Yeah.
That's funny. So that'll be an interesting matchup. Is a bunch of backups in the secondary for Detroit, and then wide receivers for Tampa Bay. And then also on that defensive line, what is Aiden Hutchinson able to do? Because the offensive line has also been an issue for Tampa Bay as far as injuries go. I think they have back their left tackle. Is that right, JP?
But worst played last week.
Worst played, but they're missing a guard and a center and the right tackle. Like, they're just missing so many pieces
They're
everywhere.
missing 3 right guards.
So
That's impressive.
They're starting right guard 4.
Correct.
Or maybe left guard 2. Maybe he moved over.
No, they did not move him over.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure they signed someone and they played him.
Yeah.
Or called someone from the practice squad, which is technically signing.
Yeah.
Sure.
So I'm right.
So that
doesn't matter what Aiden Hutchinson does. Baker Mayfield just going to give him a little stiff arm into the ground and then run for 12 yards.
Yeah, and then come up with his little celly. Maybe the shoulder, like both the shoulders shrugged or whatever.
Yeah.
100%. You make a good point, Sanders. Interesting matchup with Bucks' lack of receivers and Detroit's lack of secondary. Like both kind of literally their lack of that. I don't think it matters for Tampa Bay. I mean, I've said that a ton this year. They could have the banana slugs playing receiver for them, and Baker's going to make it work and make it happen. I think they're going to run the ball with Rashad White and Sean Tucker in this game. I think they'll be consistently going down there and scoring points. And I think the same goes for Detroit. Detroit, I think, is going to answer after their kind of disappointment on Sunday. I expect this to be fully a shootout. Bucks, like I said, doesn't matter who they have. I said on Tuesday I think they would be really competitive in this game, which is why I don't understand why the spread is 5.5.
I agree.
Obviously, in my power rankings, like Bucks are 2 tiers higher than the Lions. I would probably have this game at a pick'em. Like, I think this is a 50-50 coin flip that this goes either way. My biggest thing was what my biggest issue was after Sunday night with Detroit. Are they going to have the undisciplined stuff again? Or are they going to respond to that? And did Dan Campbell talk them out of that well enough? I would assume he gave a pretty fiery speech.
Yeah, probably.
About all the stupid stuff they did last week. Because the Aiden Hutchinson penalty cannot be defended, and of course what Brian Branch did cannot be defended. That stuff cannot happen. I don't think it will happen this week. At least I hope not. I hope Detroit responds to that because I really like Detroit and I want them to be good. And having them being good and in the postseason has been great for the league. It's been great for the sport. But due to my power rankings, having Tampa Bay over Detroit, I'm taking Tampa Bay to win, and of course cover the 5.5 points. I think Baker gets to 6-1. I was low on the Lions coming into the season, and it turns out that I think the committee's still out, but I may be right if they lose, and they're 4-3.
If they lose this 4-3, sure, I'll give you I'll give you half right.
Yes, I was going to say I'm right for the wrong reason.
You're right for the wrong reason, for sure. Also, you had them taking a massive step back, and so you may be right about them taking a step back.
6-11 still in play.
It is still in play. You are correct. I'm also going to take the Bucs to cover. I'm not going to predict the win, but I think I mentioned it while show prepping. I was talking to Sanders, and that spread immediately jumped out to me as
100%.
Wow, why are they favored by 5.5? So, and that's my initial reaction. I'm going to
especially
pick the Bucs to cover
after Detroit being 2.5 underdogs to KC.
Yeah.
Now what would the Buccaneers spread at Kansas City be? 8? 9?
Yeah.
I'm really interested what Vegas's power dynamics or power rankings are, because of that.
Are they,
Not that I'm correct because I'm 5-13. I'm picking the spread so far this year, but I'd be interested what the pyramid is.
Sure.
Would be against picking the spread. After each week,
I need to fix that because Jack is 5-13 and you're 5-16. And
it gives me a loss when I put the pick in until something is in there.
But Jack has also put
no, but it's only JP's column or something like that.
Okay,
my
cool.
column doesn't do that.
I'll go and fix it in a bit. I'm also. Wait, I put both y'all.
Yeah, hold up. Wow.
I wrote it down wrong. Y'all
He's
both
trying
picked Tampa
to.
Bay.
No wonder our records are so bad. He's cheating.
I will also pick Tampa Bay to cover. I do think that they're going to be really competitive, and I wonder, is Vegas knocking them down a couple pegs because of the injuries to the wide receiver core? That wouldn't make a whole lot of sense.
Emeka Ibuka is probably worth 1.5 points.
Yeah.
I do think that they are factoring that in, and it just somehow keeps not mattering. But they're not going to just change their process and their model because it keeps not happening. I don't know, though. I'm not going to pretend to know the inner workings of Vegas even a little bit.
Yep.